Taylor Swift's laughter filled the room as she joined the New Heights podcast, chatting excitedly with Travis and Jason Kelce about her life lately, her newfound hobbies, and, most especially, her fast friendship with Kylie Kelce. She joked about the wild dimensions of the podcast studio and how she'd be happy to make it work, even if she had to leave some equipment trunks behind. Then she launched into stories of traveling the world, sharing memories of adventures when she wasn't. On stage, Europe, Australia, all the places that made touring so much fun. With the tour now finished, Taylor confessed how good it felt to get her hobbies back after so many years, with her focus consumed by planning set lists and learning how to say "Welcome to the Eras Tour" in different languages. Now, back at home, she's rediscovering things she's always loved. Hobbies she says could have existed in the 1700s. She laughed about getting her granny on, sewing children's purses and baby blankets, her two specialties. Travis confirmed her skills, and Taylor listed other favorites: painting, cooking, and a baking obsession that changes every 6 months. But lately, sourdough has taken over her life. The bread baking stories kept coming. Taylor described how Travis asked her to send loaves of sourdough to training camp, and she would wrap them up in cling film, trying to keep them fresh. Sourdough became such a big part of their days that about 60% of her conversations were about bread. She detailed the different flavors: blueberry lemon, cinnamon swirl, cinnamon raisin, and the latest experiment, funfetti sourdough, especially for the girls who love anything with sprinkles. Travis marveled at the rainbow bread, and Taylor smiled, imagining the kids' excitement. She admitted she's always baking bread and texting friends to get feedback, asking which loaf they liked better, what she changed with the rise. She even joined sourdough blogs, discovering a whole community of fellow enthusiasts, and joked about how many people out there might be hoping she'd pop up on their blogs. Taylor said the internet is good for that. She mostly uses it for sourdough recipes, except when Travis shows her otter videos on his Instagram. She grinned, explaining how much she wants a wild otter, not to take one from its mother, but to help one, rescue it, and have it know she saved its life. Travis's dream is to find a wild otter in distress, save it, and have it swim alongside him, grateful forever. Taylor laughed, asking if otters eat bread and wondering if they could feed one sourdough. They joked about carrying sardines just in case they met one. Subscribe for more fun moments and behind-the-scenes stories. Taylor recounted how baking with Travis got competitive. They each set up a station, stretched and folded dough, and compared results. Travis's loaf once rose higher and tasted better, but Jason teased about germs and bacteria, joking about chest hair in the bread and cat hair in Taylor's. Taylor leaned into the bread puns, labeling her bags and making up lyrics. "It's a loaf story, baby. Just say yeast." And loafing. Him was bread. They laughed as Taylor admitted some puns were terrible but too much fun to resist. The conversation shifted to the Eras Tour, and Taylor reflected on the stamina it required. In previous tours, she built endurance as the shows went on, but for this one, she trained hard beforehand so she'd be at her peak from the start. She said she's not an athlete and has to force herself to do all the cardio, but Travis and Jason protested, saying she's more athletic than she admits. Taylor insisted she's just not interested in being an athlete, even though she's competitive for Travis's sake. She recounted her childhood in Pennsylvania, hearing her dad yell at the Eagles game on TV while she practiced guitar and piano in her room. She'd go to sporting events just to sing the national anthem, not to watch the games. Jason quipped about her power skip on tour, saying he knew she was an athlete from the way she skipped down the runway in heels. Taylor laughed, grateful for the compliment. She admitted she only became obsessed with sports because of Travis. And even then, she'd let others win if they played against each other because, to her, the points didn't matter. Then Taylor shifted gears, shining a light on her bond with Kylie Kelce. She beamed as she described meeting Kylie for the first time, saying she knew immediately they'd get along. Kylie has a warm, genuine energy. and Taylor called her the sister she always wanted. They've spent hours talking about everything from raising children and pets to kitchen tips. Taylor joked that Kylie was her secret coach, helping her improve her cooking skills and sharing cute recipes. Jason interjected, laughing that Kylie is a much better cook than he is, and warned Travis to prepare himself. Taylor shared how Kylie helped her feel at home in the famously lively, loving, and loud Kelce family. At family gatherings, Kylie would always pull her in, introduce her around, and make sure she never felt left out. Taylor cherished those moments, grateful for Kylie's kindness. She told a story about taking the kids to a park in Kansas City, describing them as adorable and Kylie as an inspiring mom, patient and full of unconditional love. Jason was touched by Taylor's words, saying how happy it made him to know Kylie and Taylor were so close, and calling Kylie the heart of their family. Taylor's own family memories surfaced. Her dad's passion for football, her mom cheering for her music, her own focus always on practicing instruments or songwriting. She'd watch halftime Super Bowl shows for the music and skip the game itself. The podcast room brimmed with laughter as Taylor and the Kelces compared competitive streaks, bread-baking disasters, and awkward moments from the tour. Taylor described how her relationship with the Kelce family, especially Kylie, grew deeper with every family gathering, game day, and kitchen mishap. She spoke about how Kylie's support helped her feel less nervous meeting everyone and settle into the family dynamic. They joked about bread again, sharing kitchen fails and victories, and Taylor teased Travis about his rising skills as a baker. Taylor said she took a lot from the tour. She learned the value of preparing, training, and surrounding herself with supportive people, both on stage and at home. She said she was glad she didn't know how long the Eras tour would last because she might have felt overwhelmed, but in the end, she was grateful for the adventure and the lessons. The Kelces kept the jokes coming, but occasionally the conversation turned real. They talked about the chaos of family life, the importance of finding time for hobbies, and the joy of learning new things together. Taylor smiled, grateful for the friendships she'd made, the family she'd found, and the fun of discovering new passions, whether it was bread, Otters, or sharing stories on a podcast. She said she'd keep baking, keep singing, and keep showing up for her friends and family. Travis and Jason cheered her on, celebrating her for who she was, talented, funny, a little competitive, and always ready for a new adventure. Taylor described how her time off tour let her rediscover the simple joys: baking, sewing, painting, hanging out with friends, and laughing about sourdough disasters. She said she'd send loaves to anyone who wanted feedback, and she'd keep searching for the perfect recipe, maybe even one an otter would love. The podcast ended with everyone laughing, grateful for the stories, the memories, and the bonds that brought them together.